was very easy for people to be interested in me in the beginning because of my surname. I can count on my fingertips the films where I felt loved and wanted. I think cliques exist everywhere in the world. And I've always felt that way about Bombay. Like, I just feel like it's a very strange time in the world to black and white things.
Hi everyone, joining us today is Shruti Haasan. Shruti, welcome to the Quint. Thank you so much for taking time out to do this.
Thank you, my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Your fans on social media are celebrating 11 years of you in the industry. Was it hard though, coming from a film family and you had seen your father as a superstar? Were there things that you were told in the beginning that these are the set rules, this is how you should be, and was it a process to unlearn?
There were no set rules that I was told. I probably should have been told more rules, but I wasn't. One day, I just signed a movie and I told my dad, "Oh, I'm doing a movie, by the way." And he had like no idea I was even going to act. Like, it was very random. So he was like, "Well, work hard." And that was like the tiny bit of advice I got. I didn't have those expectations in my head. Neither did he put it or my mom. So it was a very organic journey.
If I may ask, how did the first film come to you? Was it easy? Was it something that you wanted to do to begin with?
No, actually, when I was very young, I wanted to be an actress. And then I kind of let that go when I started writing and music, really. And my dad was the one who said, you probably should consider acting at some point. And I was like, really? I never took it seriously. It's not something that I really thought about as a plan. So yes, in that sense, especially with all the debate and conversation going around now, it would be untrue if I said it was really difficult to get in. It was very easy for people to be interested in me in the beginning because of my surname. But I wasn't very good at my first film, and I wasn't very attuned to what it means to be an actor. And the journey after that was really hard and challenging for me personally, because I had to make changes and adjustments to my approach to life to be able to succeed in films.
When you sign a film like Yaara, it is essentially a film about 4 friends. That's what one can tell from the trailer, at least. What goes through your head, and what makes you say yes to a project like that?
Well, in the case of Yaara, it wasn't difficult. First of all, I've always liked Tigmanshu sir's work, always. And so I was very excited when he approached me. Second of all, yes, it is a film about camaraderie between men. It is this sort of brotherhood of four. But the role I play of Sukanya is extremely pivotal and important. She's a beautiful character who acts as a major catalyst to the story as well.
Shruti, I was going through some of your previous interviews, and to me, it almost looked like you were more alive when you were talking about music.
I think that's because I have more control over the music, so I'm able to talk a lot more about the processes. I'm not going to lie, there are film interviews where I've not been excited, but this isn't one of them. Yeah.
What I wanted to ask you was, when you sign up for a film project, does the thought that, maybe I can use this time for just, writing a song or creating music, does that thought ever cross your mind?
Well, honestly, the thing is, for about, I would say, 8 solid years, I didn't touch my music at all. I was coming home and doing it secretly, almost. It's never been about the fame or the success or the money with music, ever. I knew very well that this time was for acting and that there would be a day where I would channel back into music. It's really difficult to do both at the same time. So when I was coming closer towards my 10th year in the business, I decided to take a break and find that balance.
Was it ever difficult just being you? Because to me, you come across as somebody who speaks her mind, likes to carry herself the way she wants to do things, Was it ever difficult doing just that when you were doing the films that you want to, and, trying to please people? That's what we hear from actors.
Yeah.
That they've done that in the beginning, and then
I've enjoyed myself 90% of the time. But the problem was with but I've always felt that the 10% of times I didn't enjoy myself was, like in any job, the misunderstanding or miscommunication. It became a constant battle to I need to be who I am. And when I'm on set, I will be this person you need me to be, and then I will be me. And then I've realized over the years, and really after taking the break, that it doesn't need to be so black and white. I've learned that I have nothing to prove about who I am. I'm like, oh, I've been here 11 years. And I think today I'm much easier and much happier with who I am.
You've also very recently spoken about how you've come to be your own. You know, you spoke about plastic surgery. You spoke about wanting to be in control. I want to ask you, was that process difficult?
Yeah, definitely. Because I think denial is the name of the game on many levels, even karmically speaking in the world. It's like it's easier to deny than to face things. It's easy to type a comment to somebody and tear them down. And it's much more difficult to start breaking yourself down to build yourself back up. For me, honesty is not an option. It's like the way I'm comfortable. What was starting to happen is like to pretend like I wasn't certain things was getting exhausting, really. And so, yes, when you start to look into yourself, we all have stuff that we don't really like about ourselves. And for me, therapy and dealing with the fact that I was avoiding my own anxieties was a very big part of me growing and changing, for which I'm very thankful. So that to me is like an achievement, a personal achievement, which, you know, you don't get a medal or an award for it, and you shouldn't, because you are your own medal. But no, it's not easy. I like being the fun one in the group of friends. I like laughing off stuff. So when you assume the mantle of Joker in the circle, then it's hard to actually become the person who then confides. And it was a role I gave myself, you know, to play. So I think definitely it was a process of doing it myself.
Talking about Sushant's sad demise, and then of course, you know, one lesson probably a lot of us should have taken from that particular episode should have been the fact that we need to talk more about mental health. But of course, we're seeing that the conversations move to a different tangent altogether. What do you, somebody who's gone for therapy, somebody who probably knows what hitting a wall feels like, take from that sort of a situation, and how do you snap out of the questions probably you're you know, that are popping up in your head?
I've been speaking about mental health for a long time because it's something that has been important to me. I didn't have the courage to speak about it before because when you're going through the storm, you can't sit down to give directions or to even have a conversation. And I'm still going through it, but in a much more efficient and conducive way to how I need to feel. It's very unfortunate that it took an incident like this for people to realize that they need to have this conversation. There are different levels of mental health awareness. People suffer from depression, people suffer from anxiety, people suffer from more serious conditions like bipolar disorder or and by serious, I mean not to stigmatize it. I mean, it's actually harder on a day-to-day level.
Do you ever go through the Twitter chat, or do you ever go through the sort of things that are being written about? And for somebody who comes from the industry, does that ever take a toll on you?
Yes, it does. I feel like it's almost odd for me to speak because I obviously go into the other group of people who had it easy because of my parents. And I'm not lying that the doors open, but walking into the room and staying there took a lot of work. And I've been very awkward on what is the right way to communicate. That's why when I'm on a set like Yaara, with somebody like Tigmanshu Dhulia at the head of it, who believes in his actors and supports us and holds us like children almost, I value that process very much. Do you know what I mean? Like, or I can count on my fingertips the films where I felt loved and wanted. So Yaara would be one of them. D-Day was one of them, when Nikhil really believed in me. Srimantru was a Telugu film where the director and my co-star were like, we believe we want you here. 3, again, was a life-changing film, as well as Gabbar Singh, where there are places where you feel wanted, but there are many times I'm like, oh, I'm not in the cool clique. And I've always felt that way about Bombay. Like, I've never known how to schmooze and to find my way through that. I still don't, you know. And I think cliques exist everywhere in the world. Absolutely. So I know for a fact that these things that are being discussed are not coming out of arbitrary things of it doesn't exist. It does exist. But I just feel like it's a very strange time in the world to black and white things. That's my experience.
Said you come from the other side, but I don't know if there's a distinction really to begin with. And also, why do we discount anybody's mental health? You know, even actors that we're trolling online, that we're seeing are being trolled, you know, for that matter, nobody's thinking about their mental health also. begin with?
Yeah. I mean, it's not easy, is it? It's easy, like, it's easy to pick on people. It's not easy to be empathetic. And if a pandemic can't teach you that, I don't know what will.
Right. Well, looking forward to see you in Yaara, Shruti.
Yes, it's coming out on July 30th on Z5.
On Z5.
Sit at home, get some popcorn and watch it.
And waiting to hear more music from you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.